Welcome to African Chess Lounge chess videos, and this endgame position is from a recent game from Spain. Grandmaster Granda Zuniga is playing white against a 2100 player called Peralta, and if you look at the position, it's black has just played queen takes something on c7, and it's white to play. White is an isolated pawn on d4, but the main factors in this position are the fact that white has got the initiative and black has got a weak back rank, and the fact that the bishop is much better here, although because of the d pawn is a slightly bad bishop, but it's still a much better piece than the knight, because the knight is lacking squares and it takes a lot of time for it to move around. And of course white, because it's his move, will take control of the only open file on the board with rook c1. Now remember, rook sma on an open file is one principle which we apply a lot in the middle game and the end game. Black has to play queen d8 or queen d7, covering the back rank, otherwise white is just winning. Okay, so queen d8, queen c4. Here is the principal problem in black's position. The pawn on a4 is weak. It's an advanced pawn, not protected by another pawn, so it's a weakness. And if you follow our principles, we should be attacking the opponent's weak and backward pawns. Black plays h5 to handle his back rank issues. White gobbles the pawn, knight d7, queen b3, queen a5. And here we get another middle game principle, which is support your advanced pawns on the 5th and 6th rank. This just solidifies the pawn on b5 and secures the extra pawn that white has. Okay, and just protecting your pawn. Here you see white applying another principle of the middle and end game. When ahead in material, exchange pieces but not pawns. With queen c3, he is offering an exchange of queens, and black rightly refuses, but there's a bit of forcing lines here. And after queen c4, white correctly exchanges the queens. It's one step closer to the win. Okay, this principle is that the king is a strong piece, you should use it. This is an endgame principle. Pushing the knight back. Okay, basically white is playing on the weaknesses of the knight by dominating it. b6. Okay, ideally in this position you'd love to play a6. Unfortunately, after knight a7, the b5 pawn becomes a target, so you have to take, although you don't want to exchange pawns, but in this position you have to take. And now bishop a5, very much correct, just dominating the knight. Walking into a pin is not a good idea. Check, and now rook c5. Now black cannot afford to lose another pawn, so he's forced to exchange. So far so good. If you are 1 or 2 pawns ahead, exchange pieces but not pawns. Takes, creating a new weakness on d5. And now king c3, correct move. Okay, you would like to exchange pieces, but after bishop b6 you're losing an important pawn, and the game is probably lost even here. So you have to be very careful in the end game. King c3 and knight c4. And here this is not a good move. Bishops are better than knights in open positions, so maybe the correct move here was to play your bishop to d8 first and improve your king position. The problem with playing this is that after king c8, the bishop doesn't really have a square to go to, and the king would have a roundabout way of activating the bishop. Anyway, there was still time to just handle it. You should have played not h4 as played in the game, but b6. Passed pawns should be pushed as quickly as possible. That would have been the correct move. But he played h4. Not necessarily move, I'm not even sure why. And after king g3, now he activates with king a4 activates the bishop, and after check, king b3, knight c4, bishop b4. There was another move here, king b4, probably much more accurate than b6, pushing the passed pawn. That's really the idea. You can see a simple line in this, attacking the other weak pawn and switching to the king's side, taking advantage of the fact that the knight does not move as fast as the bishop does. Okay, anyway, he played bishop b4, and after king c7, bishop here, the extra pawn counts, and the bishop can protect its own pawns whilst the weak pawns get attacked. If he has to play here. Now you can protect the pawn from a much more superior position, and after bishop e5, knight d1, black is in zugzwang, and white takes the extra pawn and goes and sweeps the king's side, basically winning the endgame. Okay, good. I hope that was instructive and you've learned new ways of applying basic principles in simple positions.